It's My 104.3's podcast, and we've got on the phone Mick Jones with us from Foreigner. Mick, this is a huge celebration this year, the 40th anniversary of Foreigner. So how has it been going strong for so long?
Well, it's just been somehow... It's had breaks in the road, here and there, but managed to sort of keep the thread going, and now it's, we're riding it, there's incredible success at the moment, so we're very happy about that, and a lot of hard work and dedication is what really has kept the band together since the reformation. So,
yeah,
and we put those miles in, those hours and days and months everywhere, touring around the world non-stop, really, and here we are, and we've got a great reason to celebrate at the moment. Obviously with 40 years, it's still hard to imagine really that it is 40 years, but
yeah.
It is, and we're still rocking strong.
So, and you guys have been through so many changes over all these years. Of course, you're coming here to Soaring Eagle Casino next weekend, which we're very excited about. But you've been through so many changes over the years, members coming, members going, reinventing the group. I mean, how does it feel to still be going strong after all these years?
Well, it's I just feel incredibly fortunate and just thankful and grateful to the audiences and the fans that have hung in there with us through thick and thin, and now they're in the thick of it. So
yeah,
they've propelled us and managed to support us, and we've got a lot of faithful followers out there, and we just have to deliver the goods, and the rest's up to them,
Yeah, what I think is really cool is, Foreigner's had a ton of hits, but especially in like movies like Anchorman 2, Magic Mike, he had a couple of songs in Pitch Perfect, Kung Fu Panda, where Jack Black did a cover version of your hit Jukebox Hero, and then even the video game industry followed suit with the blockbuster release of Grand Theft Auto 5. I know you reinvented the band in 2002. What can we expect with this tour rolling through these towns?
Well, we did a very successful summer tour this year, and we went out and took Cheap Trick and Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin Experience with us, and that was one of the surprise, real big packages of the summer.
Let's go back to the beginning of the group, where you guys first met. And you and Mick first met where, in Rochester?
Yes, his band Spooky Tooth was playing at a theater in Rochester, and my band's manager was an A&M Records East Coast rep, and Spooky Tooth was on A&M Records, so that was a great opportunity for us to see Spooky Tooth and meet Mick. Yeah,
you guys formed this friendship, this big bond, and then you had a group named Trigger, but then you changed it over to Foreigner. And why was that?
Well, the horse bolted.
Yeah, Roy Rogers was going to sue us,
but the Paul Rogers.
Roy Rogers.
Yeah, right. But Paul Rogers actually had plans to call his solo band Paul Rogers and Trigger. So we figured that we'd leave that one to him.
And how did you come up with the name Foreigner?
Just writing thousands of names down, and pouring through everything until something seemed to fit. It was a bit of an unusual name at the time, and I guess I'm still not sure about it myself. How about you, Lou?
Well, I know there were 3 Americans and 3 Brits, so wherever we went, we were formed.
Yeah, that was the thing that clinched it.
So you guys are back together again, doing this 40th anniversary tour. Lou, how does it feel to be back with the guys again?
It feels fantastic. We did a show at Jones Beach, and the musicianship is excellent, and we got some help from Mick's Foreigner, and I think that all in all, the sound is really mighty.
So we're looking back to like 40 years worth of history with music and songs that you guys have done together, and then then Lou, you went off on a solo career. As a matter of fact, we here at My 104.3, we play your songs, Midnight Blue and Just Between You and Me. And out of all of these songs that you guys have done together, and even as solo artists, which song would you pick as your personal favorite that you guys have done?
Well, that's a little tough. It's like trying to pick your favorite kid, all your children.
Yeah, it's very difficult. very difficult. I mean, I think we both had a good experience putting a Jukebox Hero together. That kind of, I think that sort of was a symbol of our moving ahead and wanting to, over the first few years of the band, getting to know each other and getting to, be able to create music together. And to me, that sort of is kind of our anthem. And it's kind of synonymous with the band, and it's sort of it's kind of recognizable. And
I think the audience kind of relates to that with the band also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a story about a wide-eyed kid who gets a taste of going to a rock show and getting taken backstage and shown all the back the backstory to what we do, and so it's sort of meaningful in that way, and just a great song.
Now you guys are back together. You guys are going to be here in mid-Michigan next week, and we're extremely excited because Lou's back with the band to do some of these shows. And with the song I Want to Know What Love Is, the biggest mega hit out there. Everybody knows that one, whether you're young or old or in between. I got to ask, you're going to have some surprises for us with the show, are you not?
We are indeed. I mean, we have 4 of the original band members. That'll be Dennis Elliott on drums, Rick Wills on bass, or not original, but very close to the original, and Al Greenwood, our keyboard player. And I don't think I'm leaving anyone out, am I, Lou?
Ian McDonald.
Oh, of course. Ian McDonald. All members of the original band. So we, as Lou said, we did a fantastic appearance at the Jones Beach Theater in New York, and I think we all had an amazing time doing that. The crowd really responded incredibly well, and so it's going to be fun. It's going to be a trip through the past.
And it's going to be an excellent time, and of course tickets are still available if you want to pick those up at the Soaring Eagle box office. So I got to ask you guys have pretty much done everything. You've been everywhere. Your music's been everywhere. Recently, your hits have been on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. You've had hits in movies like Anchorman 2, Magic Mike, Pitch Perfect, Kung Fu Panda. Even the video game industry has picked up on your music. The living legacy continues to move on with this band. But I got to ask you, I mean, now that you've done all of this and you guys are back together and you're doing this tour, and it's going to be a spectacular time when you guys come through town here next weekend, what do you have left to accomplish on what's already been a storied musical career?
Well, you never know. We recorded an album with a 60-piece orchestra earlier this year in Switzerland, and that came out very well, and we might be doing some more appearances in concert halls, actually, so it's kind of interesting. Music adapts very well to that sort of treatment. 60-piece choir, too. So the songs really kind of get an incredible, powerful show, I mean, even though part of it is classical music, or the songs are arranged in a classical manner, they are very, I got together with a very cutting-edge arranger and viola player who has really put some great arrangements together, and we're in the middle of preparing to do a few more of those shows, and so that's a kind of a refreshing angle to exploit, and that's what we'll be doing. So it's chugging away all the time. There's always thinking, as we used to say.
So looking back on 40 years, what are some of your most memorable moments as a band?
Well, I certainly think when we played at Day on the Green, Bill Gramm's
that's right,
great show that he put on every year, and we played with the Eagles and Fleetwood Mac, and we were a brand new band. So I think we opened the show at about 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and the place was jam-packed full even then. And Bill Gramm, before the gates opened, came to the dressing room and took Mick and myself onto the stage, and right at I think 7:30, the doors opened and you could see streams of people running in to get their favorite spot on the lawn, and when we performed, we all we had was our first album, and considering that a lot of people had never heard anything more than feels like the first time, and maybe they were knocked out, and for a new band, we acquitted ourselves nicely.
Okay, now Lou, since this is Foreigner's 40th anniversary, I got to ask, are you going to be doing some of your solo songs on this tour?
I don't think so. I think this is all about Foreigner, and that's what it should be.
Very cool. Thank you, and thank you for the support that the station's given, and over the years as well. So we're just happy to do it, I guess. We're just it is something to celebrate. It's something that Lou and I can look back on together and with pride, and what we achieved, and moving along, and it still takes me a while to digest the fact that we have, that the band's been rolling for 40 years now. But it's just fun. We're having fun as long as we're having fun, and as long as feel good about it,
right.
We'll keep it rolling.
Again, we want to thank Mick Jones and Lou Gramm of Foreigner for joining us today on our podcast here at My 104.3 Online. All right, so here's what we're doing. Friday morning, October the 6th, you can listen to My 104.3 between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. When you hear us play a Foreigner song, then all you need to do is be the first caller in at 989-779-1043. We're going to set you up with 2 tickets to Saturday night's show, October the 7th, over at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, and 2 meet and greet passes, so you can actually hang out with the group, get to meet them, take a couple of pictures and whatnot. It'll be a lot of fun. So again, listen Friday morning, October the 6th, between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. to hear a Foreigner song, and you could be going to the show and meeting the guys. It's Foreigner Friday with My 104.3. Again, thanks for taking the time to listen.